Good morning, good morning, good morning. Certified doers. I'm Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 93rd District. So honored and grateful to be here with you all this morning. Good morning. Um, let's just start out by saying, y'all are amazing and looking good today. I don't care what time it is. What time is it? Don't matter. Um, Super grateful. I always kind of start with that. Super grateful, doers. I just want to do a couple things today. I know I missed you all last week. I'll tell you why I missed. It was a really important thing. I tried. I genuinely tried to do the live last week, but we had a couple things going on. I want to go through why I missed last week, some things that we have going on in the community that I think can be a touch point, and then talk about tomorrow, me going to session, what that is about, what we can expect, and then where we go from here. But for you doers, what I'd like you to do is if you have an event, a question, a comment that you want to drop in the chat, please don't hesitate to go ahead and do that right now. We'll make this a whole dialogue and do what we do, right? So last week, I took my son to college to visit his school, and I'm not sad. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm not really excited for him. He is going to be going to Hampden Sydney College in Hampden City, Virginia, near Farmville, Longwood, and it's an exciting time. I'm really, if you've let one fly the nest, and uh, they're still a hemorrhoid, but you love them, it can be. This is probably really an exciting time. So I am super grateful for what the school gave to us, and his choices, and I trust him. So y'all just send some good love and hugs to my 17-year-old headed off to college in August. It's a big deal for our family. I've never had the opportunity to do such a thing. And so if you got advice, because I left and went to the military, if you got advice for me to give to him, please, I receive it. College life, I imagine, is something very different, uh, and yeah, super, I'm grateful that we were able to do it. So that's where I was. I tried. I was in the car, and the signal was going in and out. It didn't work out, but it was a great time. Secondly, this week we had our first kicks and cocktails, y'all. I want to thank everybody who showed up. Um, our goal has always been to connect community, and I believe that's how we get stronger as doers, right? How do we continue to do the things that we do well? I need you to be brilliant on what you're brilliant on and connect with someone else that is brilliant, and then go do good things in our corner of the world. So it's very small, intimate. Got to meet some of you from this virtual world for the first time. Shout out to Early and his wife and DJ Raven, who came out and met them for the first time, because this has been the only time we've interfaced. It is a fundraiser, but the most important thing to me is that y'all leave connected. And so we're gonna keep doing these pop-ups. You got to keep on the lookout when we do a little pop-up kicks and cocktails. We trying to stay at small local businesses in Norfolk. So going across the city doing this. I just mentioned Raven. Hey Raven, I just said shout out to you. Just saw you. But we do more when we do it together. And you all are amazing, right? Like, even if you're the person that just gives the neighbor the ride, or you are when you do your walk, you're picking up trash, or you are building programs, all of it matters. And I think it is a better place for us when we connect with people that we know are doing things, because it sometimes, even for me, feels like, man, where is everybody at? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? And so I just want to keep that hope that there's more of us than it is of folk that are not taking care of business. So let's get it. So glad. Thank you for those who came out to Kicks and Cocktails. You ain't got to have it. Some people came in heels. We ain't mad at them. It's Kicks and Cocktails. We was there for the libation. If you had a unitini, a little chocolate unitini, that was the drink of the night. Grateful for you. Um, Thirdly, I've got some events coming up, right? Summer School for Certified Doer. If you do not have it on your calendar, Summer School for Certified Doer is going to be July 27th. We had a location, something happened with that location. We're trying to make sure we can secure it, but mark your calendars. July 27th, we're doing it, and period. That's happening. So if you are a person that just wants to learn more about the legislative process, what we do, how we do it, how do you advocate in a meaningful way, come holler at us July 27th. Sign up for the newsletter because it'll be in there when we have the date, when we have the place nailed in the ground. Also, August 10th, mark your calendars. We are having a certified doer field day, or like certified doer Olympics, at Northside Park, from I think 11 to 3. Don't beat me up on that time. If my team is on here, don't kill me because I'm trying. Uh, but we are having this is I just want to hang out with you. I want to do what I thought about my daughter at the end of the year. She's like, oh yeah, we have field day, and then I'm going to help out with the elementary school field day. And I was like, I want a field day. When the last time I potato sack race? As a military person, I don't got a whole lot of family that's around me. So August 10th, we're going to have a certified doer field day. We have doers that got more done awards that we're going to give out. And I'm just excited to have you. So put that on your calendar. Now, also, many of you probably don't know, and please, like I said, drop your comments, questions in the chat 100%. Many of you do not know this, so I'm going to share. And because I said I would do more sharing. I live with I hate calling it a disease because I don't like it, feels weird to say that. I live with something that they call fibromyalgia. And what fibromyalgia is oftentimes I'm always in pain. I'm always in a level of pain. And sometimes my widespread pain across my body prevents me from like having a good quality of life. So sometimes I can't walk. Sometimes it just manifests in other ways. And I have complex migraines. There are migraines that sometimes appear as if I'm having a stroke, but I'm not actually having a stroke. And the hardest thing, I think, when I found out that I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia was finding community. It just wasn't something that was widely talked about. Quite frankly, I remember I went to rheumatoid arthritis rheumatologist who was like, I don't believe in this disease. So like, essentially it doesn't exist. Could you imagine? I was told it was psychosomatic, all the things. And fast forward, I'm now in the Hampton Roads area, and there's an organization called the Social Butterflies. Social Butterflies is an organization committed to creating community opportunities for people with lupus and fibromyalgia, because those are two Ds. There's no cure for it. I will always have fibromyalgia. It's exacerbated by a lot of different things, but I do my best to manage. I'm doing a lot. I think I'm doing better at managing. But the thing about it is, why am I bringing it up here? It's like, Jackie, why you bring it up to the doers? What you want me to do? Well, on August 3rd, I'm going to put up this flyer. On August 3rd at Boo Williams Complex, I am going to be the Grand Marshal. If y'all know me, I love a parade. Okay. I grew up with the Bud Billiken Parade in Chicago. I love a good parade. So I'm going to be the Grand Marshal for the Butterfly Walk at the Boo Williams Sports Complex on August 3rd. I'm asking you to just come out and walk with us. Like, sign up to walk with us. You go to Butterfly Walk for Lupus and Fibro and join us there. So that's my ask. Come do it. It's from 1 to 4, August 3rd, and just register. Can y'all do that? I love for you to be a part of that. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's get to tomorrow. So we are still in special session, as you probably know. I will be going back to Richmond tomorrow morning to do one piece of legislation about the Virginia Military Survivor Independent program, the college waiver for military folks that have combat injuries have died or are 90% disabled. That's been a huge conversation between folks over the past couple of days. So if you've been watching the news about it, know that tomorrow we're going back. The House, the bill, there's a bill already out there. I'm a chief co-patron on the bill. Don't that What matters most about this bill is that it's happening, not who's chief co-patron, other than that it's happening. You all know that I have a firm belief of transparency. Okay, so much as we can, because you all know you can't, there's no way that I'm going to communicate everything, and also everything ain't meant to be communicated with the general public when we're working. That's just what it is. You can be mad about it, you can be happy about it, whatever it is, that is the truth. And so my role is that if we say we have a process, that we communicate that process, right? That we ensure that the means by which we have built this country for participatory governance, that we do that. So we are going to go back tomorrow because the House and the Senate and the governor, we all signed this bill. We all came in on this. Not all. There's a couple folks who didn't, but uh, we put into a play that this program was going to be sort of scaled down, right? Or not even scaled down. There were going to be some more requirements for people to be participatory in this program. And the way that it happened was not the way to do it. Y'all know we have a legislative process by which things go from committee to subcommittee, from subcommittee to committee to the floor, and so on and so forth. If you don't know, then you need to be at summer school on July 27th so we can learn more about this process and you can engage in that way. But there's a process, and it didn't do that. And I think a lot of folks, myself included, believe that if we're going to make changes like this, it needs to have, people would say, it needs to have its day in court. It needs to have its day in front of the people and in front of the politicians so that we can truly have a robust conversations about the changes we're making for you all. Knowing that July 1st, if you don't know, July 1st is when we're going to all of our new laws are going to go in effect. So you should start seeing, and that's right around the corner, you're going to start seeing news stories and saying, hey, these laws are going into effect. Hey, this is happening on July 1st. So be paying attention because there's some things that are going to shift. I'm going to do my best to try to put some things out about new laws that are happening that are going to go in effect for next week, that are in effect, because by next Thursday, the new laws that we did in the beginning of the year, right? It's a long year. So we had to do a budget. So that we did from January to March, all of those are going to go in effect in July. So that's going to be important for you all and for me to know as life shifts a little bit every July 1st, depending on what you care about loudly or quietly. So I'll be in Richmond doing that. We're going to repeal what we did, right? We're trying to pull back and say, you know what, we did that. That wasn't right. That was kind of effed up, right? Which it was. That was effed up. So let's go ahead and pull back what we did, work on it for the rest of the year, and then make some recommendations as to how we can make some changes in 2025. And, that work may take longer than that. I'm just trying to, the main thing I think people have an issue with is that when you say, like, if I was like, y'all, we gotta stop building sidewalks because 50% of people said sidewalks are bad. You should want to know where I get that 50% number from. You should be like, who did you actually talk to, right? Where did this come from? And I think that is a part of it, is that folks are trying to understand, where in the world did we get the numbers from? Are they true and valid? And then take a step forward from there. Sounds right? That's what we're trying to do. So I'll be in Richmond tomorrow. Hopefully it's a quick trip up and back, and then we'll be back on the go. Okay. I don't see any questions or comments, so I'm looking. I'm going to say good morning to Miss Charlene. Good morning, Mr. Little. Good morning, peace and blessings to you as well. I'm going to check Instagram. Let's also, I guess, talk about the elephant of the night. Many of you probably know. Actually, let me not say many of you know. Well, last night, I made a very hard decision to go to our school board meeting. Good morning, Millhouse 2023. I made a very hard decision. I believe that being elected, right, being in the position of power and decision making can be very difficult. It requires a lot of courage, a lot of accountability. I have to be willing to take what y'all dish out at me, for better or for worse. That is a part of this job. We believe in the ABCs of governance: accountability, boldness, and coalition building. And last night, at the school board meeting, I was really I was sitting there waiting for my opportunity to speak, and was listening to the concerned citizens from for Booker T speak about what they had asked of the school system, what they're asking for Booker T Washington. And I know the guy was like, "It's not Booker T." I love it. I mean, they're caring very loudly. They're also working the process to get answers, and they're not getting them right. What I've also sort of put at the forefront of my mind in talking to some of them, and then recently an email that I received from someone about FOIA, is that we have institutions, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Uh, you all should know that if you wanted to find out emails that I sent to whomever on my government side, you have the right to request those documentations. That's a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. You can do it with council, you can do it with the school board, you can do it with any government agency. You have the right and freedom to request documents. But what is happening is that institutions are making it so that the cost is so high that when you request that information, you you look at that number and say, you got to negotiate. Is it worth it? And so talking to them, where their FOIA request was like $1,800. And then I got an email last week about a FOIA request to another school that was like about the same amount of money, and they required a $700 down payment just to get a piece of paper. I think that's substandard. And that too is something that our state laws determine, right? The FOIA, the way we do FOIA for the state input, because these are state and localities, that's all done at the state level. That's our responsibility. So we got some really work to do with transparency and your access, your ability to get access to the very thing that we said this FOIA is a thing, because people really sometimes don't want to interface in that way. But listening to them, there's FOIA work that needs to be done. And shout out to Senator Roem. I know that she is a former reporter now, and delegate, now senator, that I've seen her do a lot of work on FOIA and transparency and people being able to access institutions. And I'm going to reach out to her. I'm going to reach out to her about it and see how I can be supportive, because it's substandard. But the folks at the meeting last night, I found myself almost like shaking a little bit, because I was like, how do we get here? How do we get to a place where these elders feel like they're in the same situation that they were back in the 1960s and 70s with being cared for? And if I were to be even more candid, how are we like this with all of these Black faces in places where we could be a part of having the complex conversations that are needed to be had about education in a diverse school district? Because we have an amazing, y'all, it's some really good stuff happening, right? Like I am so proud of what the many programs that our school systems offer. Like, I'm so proud of that. My son actually went to Norfolk Technical Center and did work. Like, he was at TCC some days and Maury High School other days, doing the early childhood education program. He left with with some college experience, and how amazing that the classroom next to his classroom, next to where he went to school, was an actual child care facility within the school that he actually got to work in on some school days. It was like in the lab. So like, we offer dual enrollment, such amazing opportunities. We have to be in a position where we can acknowledge the fact that we offer great things. Our scholars are doing amazing things. And shoot, I want to say this because I got excited. Norview High School had Amazon does this scholarship. Norview High School had the first person in Hampton Roads to receive this scholarship through Amazon was at Norview. Like that is amazing. And I would say her name because I deserve to say her name, but it's failing me at the moment. But we have to be able to hold what's happening. We got to be able to hold our successes and our challenges in at the same time. That's why we operate as a team. We can amplify the things that we're doing really well while also working towards solutions for the things that don't that are challenges for us. And if I'm because I'm a candid person, the things that I've interfaced with you all in the community over the past couple of years, it has been frustrating to hear how people feel and where certain communities feel like they fall in the totem pole. Like it has been very difficult, and I too made the difficult decision because I believe that we should be calling people in before we call them out. And believe you me, we did call people in before we called them out. um, and it's unfortunate. So my hope, though, is that me going to the school board is not considered a that it doesn't that it feels as if we genuinely want to work with people that have the power and influence to work with us on making our school systems better. With that being said, you all have to be a part of that too. And I know it is sometimes frustrating, but the community and the school can't disconnect. But there also has to be a pathway for you and me to be participatory in supporting what it looks like to make our schools the way it is that we feel like they should be. So I am going to stay hopeful and remain hopeful that there is an opportunity that after last night, that there is an opportunity for all of us to the folks that are representing you at the state level, the folks that are representing you at the local level, both school board and council, that we are able to come together to really right size and get a clarity from each of our lens on what our issues are and figure out what are our roles and responsibilities towards moving Norfolk forward for you, because we work for you. um, and and it kind of saddens me, I think, about the children and parents that don't have good advocates in their space and place. My little citizens are very fortunate that I have the bandwidth to do the things that I do to show up for them the ways that I've been able to show up. I also think about the principal and the educator that feels unsupported, right? And that feels like they're giving all that they can give, um, but they're being punished, or that is just too much. That they don't have support systems. That they're not the support system is in place for them to sustain a career here in Norfolk. And I'm not saying just within the school system. I'm saying there are people that like, Jack, I gotta chuck the deuces. Rent is just getting crazy out here. Or, y'all are not, I can't do work here because when I try to work with these entities within our city, it's a hurdle. This hurdle, that hurdle, that hurdle. That is heartbreaking because every time I have conversation with folks like that, they all say, "But I love Norfolk, and if I could make it work here, I would." I'm sure because this is a magical place, right? Like it is, and I can say that as a come here, not a from here, who fell in love with here, uh, and didn't want to. I didn't want to. I wanted to go back out west and be there. I wanted to do other things, be it more closer to metropolis. But this is an amazing, magical place, and I know that you do, or I know that you want to do right by this place, and I want to do right by this place. But we're gonna have to get a little bit more uncomfortable. Okay, we're gonna have to get a little bit more uncomfortable. We're gonna have to, as not Drake said, Kendrick said. I listened to his as a I listened to his diss track, right? And he's like, "Look, we can't be sneak dissing. All right, like we can't be sneak dissing. But again, let me say this: call people in before you call them out, always. But once that has happened and time has passed, our kids can't wait. Once you call people in before you call them out, don't be sneak dissing. If you catch a flight, it need to be direct. And that's where we're at right now, is that we need to be more direct. And I need y'all help with that. So my office's ears, eyes, and heart are always open. Y'all know y'all can email. I didn't have the thing streaming across the bottom, the banner going across the bottom for what we have here. But that's the reality of what we had. So I am grateful for you. I'm hopeful for what we can do. I do not see any comments or questions in the chat, but I see y'all over there. I see y'all watching. I see you looking at me. Say something. Just kidding. But I'll go back through the events that we have coming up, and hopefully I'll see you in these streets. I may go live tomorrow. I can't say for sure. I don't know that I expressed this because it's kind of personal. This past month, yes, I did. This past month, my mom came home from the hospital. So I'm in caregiver mode, and it's been 2 months of just sort of trying to restructure life to be able to be supportive of her in her recovery, and be supportive of you and the things that you need and require of me from the role as a delegate, as a community person, and also just show up as a good mom and wife. And I'm shout out to my husband, because I feel like I was like, he's still here, y'all. my husband, he's still here with me. So I'm gonna roll through. So we've got coming up, we have summer school for certified doers. Go ahead and sign up, or be on the lookout. If you don't get the newsletter, that is super important. I need to make a sign up sheet as I'm saying this. That'll be July 27th. We've got be on the lookout for our cocktails and kicks, or kicks and cocktails. Those are just be pop-ups. Remember, that is a community building event. Yes, we are fundraising at the same time, but it is an opportunity for us to connect the dots. So cocktails and kicks. And then we've got Certified Doer Field Day that is going to be happening on August 10th. Right? August 10th. And if you love the work that we do, because I have to do this, right? Like, it's a thing. If you love the work that we do, put us in your budget, right? I always shout her out because I so appreciate her. And there's a couple other folks that they provide $20 a month, and that helps me keep my StreamYard, helps me keep my staff operationally, like just trying to get ourselves together. It's not sustainable work. We are funded to be an opportunity, but not a solution. So that's why I work so hard to do what we do here. But if I don't see any other questions or comments, I'm going to chuck the deuces here. It is 7:30 and tell you, y'all, make it a great day. Do great, be great. Doers get more done. And I hope to see you in the streets. Be well.